Okay.
Do you know how I define commitment?
How?
The elimination of alternatives. You have to get rid of your other options. And I don't mean like you need to quit your job. I mean, everything else that is not you make, if this is what you want, and that's like, you can only know that. But if this is really what you want, then it means that you have to say no to everything else in order to truly say yes to this. Because every time you say yes to something else, it's saying no to this thing that you want.
Alex Hormozi helps a small YouTuber trying to build a channel with how to make money on YouTube, as Alex Hormozi breaks down a plan to help this guy build success. So like and subscribe as we follow financial distress and how to get out of it. So let's check it out.
I've got a small YouTube channel, like really small, and I just don't know where to go other than just make more content.
What do you sell?
I've watched y'all's stuff, and I don't have anything to sell. That
what do you make YouTube about?
Should I have a product? What was that?
What's the YouTube about?
It's hunting, fishing, outdoors. I'm an outdoorsman.
Okay.
Oh, that's cool. And how many subscribers do you have, or views do you get a month?
So I've got 2,000 subscribers.
Okay.
And in the last 28 days, I've gotten almost 250,000 views, mostly from shorts. I haven't posted any longs yet.
Okay.
Yeah, outdoor wilderness stuff is a great YouTube channel. Like, there's not a ton of people doing it, and it's always new. People are always finding new, interesting videos. There's a huge niche for that because there's a huge amount of people who like to enjoy the content, but very few people who are supplying it.
All right.
What do you do to make money?
Yeah, how do you live?
I have a job. I work 40 hours a week.
What do you like? What do you do though?
Put the damn around. I make lawnmower parts.
Okay.
Nice.
All right. Okay. I think you're early. I think you're early. So I do think that you should start making some longs, because longs is what's going to depthen your kind of influence with the audience. You want to demonstrate more expertise around hunting. And if you're like, I don't know how to do that, just take 3 or 4 short concepts that were good and just loop them together. Not literally loop them together. Just make a video that covers each of those concepts in tandem, and work your way to a 5 or 8 or 10 minute video. And I would start doing that. I think you're early, dude.
Yeah, like Alex Hormozi is right. You want to get to the 8 minutes, one, because you got to get to that point if you're going to monetize it, especially if you're going to do it in a long form on YouTube. But something like that, look, it's so easy. There's a huge interest in that type of stuff. And if he's a hunting, fishing, like all that type of stuff, all he's got to do is teach, right? Like when you make a YouTube channel, it's basically 3 things. Either you're going to be entertainment, informational, or skill educational related. So like something can be entertaining, bright lights, funny, stuff like that. It can be informational, it can be historical, it can be teaching you stuff about how your car works or the parts, or it can be the skill as to how to do it. How do I hunt? How do I work on a car? How do I use the tools? So as a hunter and a fisherman, you giving access to your skill set and trying to teach, especially if you have some type of a personality, which would lean into the entertainment side of YouTube, while you could also do some informational content. Like, he could hit a lot of different keys in his content, but just being consistent and keep doing over and over again, putting out your content, at least a video a day, something like that, or being consistent every other day. That's the biggest thing on how to build YouTube. If you do 2 days, fall off, you do it for a week, and then you don't do it, like, you need to keep doing it for the algorithm to pick up on what you're trying to give it, to send it into the upper echelon.
Okay. So basically just do more.
Yeah, and do better too. You know what I mean? Like, I think you got to learn a little bit more about the content game. Yeah.
I would say, like, what right now, are you spending all of your time making content for YouTube outside of work?
Just about, yes.
Yeah, and how long have you been
every
doing
minute
it?
I can spare, I do. Yes.
No, you're good.
How long have you been doing it?
So I started the channel several years ago and kind of got very, very inconsistent. And then about 2 months ago, I decided to really get after it.
Okay. Well, okay. I think that we can both tell you this, which is like YouTube is a game of consistency.
Yeah.
Like that's how the platform works. So I think the biggest thing that you can do right now is just be consistent. Because if you look at like how to go from just like okay or mediocre to just like good, solid, it's consistency.
And the other thing behind consistency is it's going to make your skill better. Like the more that you do it day in and day out, like Alex Hormozi mentioned, like you want to get better at it. You are practicing the art of making your content. You're practicing setting it up, figuring out what you're going to do. What are you going to say? You know, you're doing the editing. You're practicing the whole art of creating the content. So the more that you do it, you're only going to get better at it. You're going to get more efficient at it. You're going to be able to do it quicker. You're going to not like think about, oh, what about this? What about this? You're going to be able to quicker to start busting this stuff out, which then takes stress off your daily life. Because if you're doing this, you know, you work 40 hours a week and then you spend all your time trying to YouTube, like it's hard to do it without some sort of a return. But the more consistent you get at it, the better you get at it, the more efficient you get at it. And then ultimately it takes stress off of yourself trying to do the content. You get some free time and then you find more of a flow and you just keep doing it. Eventually you're going to have a breakthrough and some video is going to go viral.
And then if you want to get to like great, it's like continued improvement while being consistent. So I guess the question is, how many shorts and how many longs do you commit to making per week?
So at one point I was doing one a day and it was great, but I'm kind of back down to like 3 to 4 a week.
You mean for the shorts, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I mean, you do have to do more and you have to do it consistently. And I would just tell you that like right now you're not like just for your own self, do not consider yourself having done this for years. You've been doing it for 8 weeks.
Yes.
So you're super early, man.
Yeah.
You're super early.
Okay.
So I wouldn't even think about monetizing it right now. Like you just want to take 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. Your 5 to 9, beginning a day, end a day. And I put all of that into making sure no matter what, I get out one short a day. And then on my weekends, I'm going to make sure that I get at least one long out.
Okay.
What's your goal?
One more question. What's my goal?
Yeah. Do you want to quit your job? Do you want to build a company?
Yes, I believe if I can just replace my income from my job with this, then I could scale it up. And I guess my number would be about 10 grand a month.
Okay. Can I ask you something?
Ideal.
If you could be
10 grand is kind of the golden rule that a lot of YouTubers aspire to, because that's just the fat number to where, you know, you have freedom, you got maneuverability, you're making money, you got at least enough money to pay the taxes on that too, because they're going to send you a gross check. But at that point, yeah, that's really going to replace most anyone's daily income at that point.
super honest.
Mm-hmm.
What stops you from making one video a day like you were? Like what behavior?
Mostly just life gets in the way, or I get talking to somebody and then sun goes down and now I'm out of daylight.
So if you want to ask yourself how to be consistent, the question is, how do you stop the things from occurring that make you inconsistent?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, do you have the right people surrounding you? Do you have yourself in the right environment? Like, those are the things that I think you want to be thinking about right now. Because I know, like, for myself or for Alex, when we were first starting out and like just trying to get into business, I had to put myself in an environment where it made it easy to achieve my goals, not hard, which also meant surrounding myself with people and a routine that made it easy.
Okay.
Do you know how I define commitment?
How?
The elimination of alternatives. You have to get rid of your other options. And I don't mean like you need to quit your job. I mean, everything else that is not you if this is what you want, and that's like, you can only know that. But if this is really what you want, then it means that you have to say no to everything else in order to truly say yes to this. Because every time you say yes to something else, it's saying no to this thing that you want. And almost always the things that we want to say yes to now are short-term, long-term. We say yes in the moment because it gives us a short-term good thing, but it prevents us from the long-term great thing.
I was also thinking, should I post on Instagram, Facebook as well?
I want you to be consistent with
Maybe the same
YouTube first, man.
All right.
Give me 12 weeks of consistency. You make one long and you make 7 shorts 12 weeks in a row. You do that and you're like, you know what, I got more. So the thing is right now, you have to do that volume so you can become more efficient. Like you have to feel the pain of the inefficiency of being like, man, this is a lot of work. Because when you do that, all of a sudden you'll start getting faster, you start getting better, and your work output and capacity will go up. And then you'll free up the bandwidth because you got more skills, you got more efficient, that you can start looking at, you know what, I'm going to repurpose this on Instagram or repurpose this on TikTok or whatever.
Okay.
It's
All
also
right.
like just
Yeah, like if you look, YouTube is not an easy game. This is not for the light of heart. This is not for people who just think, "Oh, I'm going to do this," and just hop into it. It's not. Like you have to be consistent. You got to do it every day. And I love how our Alex Hormozi brings up elimination of other options. Like you really have to dial down and say, "Okay, I go to work, I do this, and after that, YouTube." Like that's the next biggest priority. Not this, not that, maybe not even going to the gym, depending on what your goals are. But you need to eliminate everything else because it's hard. I mean, life gives you so many different distractions. Like this guy just said, "Oh, life happens. You get talking to people." Well, you have to make it an intentional act. You have to dial in. You have to make it part of your schedule. Like I wake up, I clean myself up, I go to work, I come home, and I do YouTube and maybe or gym after that and then eat, whatever. It has to be part of your daily ritual. But if you do that, guaranteed at some point you will break in, you will have a viral video, you will expand. But that's what you're working so long to make that first crack. And then once you fall into it, all right, now it starts getting easier. You start feeling better about doing it. You start to get more of a reward, but you have to just keep dialing down day in and day out and just keep doing the work. Like it's no different than anything else. Yeah, if this is what you want, your career, whatever, you got to act like it. Like if you really want this, if it's really that important, if you really want that 10K a month, you have to act like it's really worth it. And that means committing.
like really thinking about this. In order to build a business to replace your income, like you want to build that confidence, and confidence is an output, not an input. The input to confidence is becoming incredibly consistent with something, so you get the experience, which makes you competent, and then it leads to confidence. And I think, like in general, if you can't stick with a commitment that you make to yourself, then you degrade the trust you have with yourself every day. And so like anything you do, it's not going to come out as good as it could be. It's always going to be harder. It's going to take longer if you don't repair that trust with yourself. So I think like right now, if you're just consistent with the posting, like that is going to make you not just better at business and content, but just a better person for yourself. A better, I would say, like partner to yourself in doing this.
Mm-hmm. That's kind of funny because I was watching one of Alex's videos where he was talking about consistency and how you get better by doing the thing over and over again. So I started doing that, and I've already noticed that trend.
Cool. I think right now it's good to steer a little bit. Like I get obsessive over doing things consistently. Alex knows this, but I think you can steer a little bit in the obsessive direction right now. I think it'd be good for you, and then you can course correct that later.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's kind of like life. Look, if you ever, after 10, 20, 30 years, whatever it is, do you want to be transformed into this new person with, you know, so many more skills who are so much better? Yeah, I would argue basically everybody wants that. But the only way that you get that is you put the work in every day. And over time, you become this. You become the director, that you become the Alex Hormozi. You become, you know, Benny Johnson, you know, whoever it is, you become that person. But you have to keep putting the inputs in. And yeah, I think not lying to yourself, I think that's a good way to phrase it. Like, don't lie to yourself and what you're capable of. Just keep doing it. And as you build your skills, you're going to start feeling better and more confident and more powerful, I would say, you know, in everything that you're doing. But you almost have to make it a way of life, and you got to put all the distractions to the side. But just like as a man over time, you know, we're like a rusted sword. You know, you got to keep shaving it down. You got to keep grinding it, and over time it gets sharper and sharper and smoother and smoother, and then it can cut through absolutely anything. But it's only done by sharpening your edge every single day.
And expect the fact, like, expect people who are normal and around you to not understand. Expect them to think it's weird. Expect it to not look cool. Like, everyone goes through a cringe period.
You gotta
like,
not care.
it's going to be lonely because you're trying to do something that's very different. And I make that content where I say, like, in order to be exceptional, you have to become the exception. You're going to probably be surrounded by the majority of people in your life who don't want this, aren't interested in it, think it's dumb, think it's stupid, think it's you trying to be famous, you thinking more of yourself than you really are, all of that stuff. And you just have to just put that on the shelf and get back to work. Because, like, either they'll be right or you will, and you've got a long time to be right.
That's kind of what I was. All right, thank you.
Yeah, they'll be right for now, and you'll be right for good.
Yes, sir. So just keep on.
Keep on, baby. Keep on.
Yeah, folks, you don't have to be limited to what you are now. You don't have to be limited by what anybody else thinks of you. You don't have to be limited by other people's perceptions of you. That's just what they think. But more than anything else, you can't control what they think. You can't control what they say or what they do. The only thing that you can control are your own actions, your own inputs to the system that you're trying to make to get the goal that you want, your YouTube channel, your business, whatever it is, your career, whatever it is. Like, you are the only one that can control all those inputs. So I understand making, we want to make excuses. Oh, I'm talking to this person, life gets in the way, there's this and that. But you can't do anything about that. You can't control all the other factors. The only thing that you can control is what you do. And yeah, if you're going to have friends who are going to look at you weird, you know what? Look, if you got friends who are going to start, chopping you down at the legs, as you're trying to do all this and not really supporting you, you got to ask yourself this: is that really a friend? Is that really someone I want on my team? Is that really someone who supports me? Sometimes people will show their true face when you start to do things that mirrors a reflection of them and what they're not willing to do, because they see you succeeding, they see you chasing stuff, and they're not. And a lot of people, they will get jealous of that. They will be, not the friendliest people. They will show their true face. But yeah, if you're going to want to go after something like this, consistency, you have to not care about what everybody else thinks and just focus and dial in on the inputs that you need to put in every single day. Get better, and eventually you will show everyone else and prove to them that you are the person that you always wanted to be. But thanks for watching. Let me know what you think. What should this guy do? What advice do you have for him on his YouTube channel and his journey? Like, subscribe, take care, folks, and I'll see you on the next one.